Hey girls and boys, it is Mr. McAndrew, the math coach. I am always excited to be here, but I am especially excited today because this week, not only are we going to be talking about one of my favorite things, which is place value. I know, that's why I'm the math coach, but we're going to help Bob. Who's Bob? We'll find out. We're going to help Bob with his candy business using place value. Very exciting. So we have a math project to do this week. So before we get going on that though, let's do a little place value warm up. Okay, a little get our brains going after the weekend. So let's take a look. So here we are. We have let's just do a review. Okay, so these are we call ones, right? They can be they could represent, let's say, pieces of candy, right? So I'd have 10 pieces of candy. They could represent people, 10 people. They could represent countries. They could represent the number of video games that you have. It could be anything, right? So this shows 10 of them. If I take one away, we have 9. Now we have 8. We have 8 ones. But what we know, boys and girls, right? What we know is that when we have 10 ones, we can do something called regrouping. And what that means is instead of having 10 ones, we take these and turn them into, ta-da, a 10. So 1 10. So I'm going to take these away. Okay, so those 10 ones are now 1 10. And one way to think about that, boys and girls, is to say, like if there were 10 people, right, you have one group of 10 people. So you could think of it as 10 individual people or one group of people. Or you could think of it as you could have 10 pieces of candy, or you could think of it as one bag of candy. So all of these pieces of candy are inside this bag. Okay? So that's 110, we call it. And the reason it's called a 10 is because you can fit 10 in there. Because this could represent, again, it could represent anything. It could represent 10 people, 10 cars, 10 snakes, 10 anything, right? But we're going to call this a 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So if I add another 10, we have 2 10s, or we have 20. Okay, so what I want to do is, let's do some skip counting. I want you to do it with me. So I'm going to put out the 10s, and then you're going to say how much we have in total with me. So right now we have 10. Okay, so let's do this together. 20. 30. I want to make sure I can hear you, okay? 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Let me move it because I'm getting into my head there. All right, so right now we're at 90. So boys and girls, what would come next? If I put another 10 down, what comes next after 90? 100, right? So 100, and then 110, 120, 130, and it repeats like that. 140, 150, 160, 170. It goes on and on and on like that. Okay? So we also know, boys and girls, that when we have 10 of these, we have 100. So let's take a look. I think I have 10 here. So let's count. You ready? Count me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, and do we have 10? Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we also know the same way that 10 ones can become 110, okay? 10 tens can become 100. So if I bring out one of my hundreds, right, and I put it right on top, it should cover it just about perfectly, and it does. Okay, so I'm going to regroup these 10 tens and instead make them into 100. Okay, now we can also count by hundreds. It's harder to do because they're bigger, but every time I put one down, let's count by 100. Okay, so I want you to say it out loud with me. Okay, 100, 200, 300. You can kind of see the corners there, right? 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. What comes next, boys and girls, after 900? Is it 1000? Well, that's not how you say it, but you're right. That is 10 hundreds. Right here, 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds make 1,000. Right? Make 1,000. I have 1,000 right here because I have 10 hundreds. And that would go into the thousands place. But we're not doing that until like next year when you're in the next grade level. Okay? So here I have 1,000. If I put another one down, I have 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? All right. So just a quick review there. All right? So if I were to put down, let's say, 200s, and let's say I put down, it's kind of tight fitting here. Let's say I put down 3 10s, and I put down some 1s. Okay, so now that you know how to skip count, that's helpful because we have 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 231, 232, 233, 234, 235. So we would have 235. And if you add those up, you get 235. Okay? All right. So should we get to the project that I have in mind? Should we talk about it? Let's talk about it. It's very exciting. Okay? All right, give me a second. All right, so boys and girls, very exciting. So there's this friend of mine, maybe imaginary guy, who knows, who can say, named Bob, okay? He can be whatever age you want him to be. If you want him to be your age, like, fantastic. Now, he loves to make candy. You can actually make your own candy. Did you know that? Like, mind blown, right? So, now, Twix, one of my favorites, I mean, I do have 2 right in front of me, is candy. Okay, now he makes his own candy, right? That's amazing. Bob, the amazing candy maker. I mean, it's fantastic. So, he's going to be making candy, all right? Now, people are going to be ordering candy from him. They might be like, Bob, I want 50 pieces of candy because I'm having a party. Or, Bob, I love candy. Give me, 300 pieces of candy. So, okay, but he has to send them the candy, and he's going to do that in bags. Okay, so like a bag, right? He's going to put the candy in the bag. All right, but he's not going to put 2 pieces in each bag. He's going to put 10 pieces in each bag. Okay, so 10 pieces of candy in each bag. So I don't have enough candy, honestly, or bags to do this. So we're going to use our base 10 pieces to help us out. So let's take a look. So let's get my big face out of the way. Say bye-bye. Bam, there I go. Okay. So every piece of candy, okay, is going to be represented by one of these. I know, it'd be better if we had candy, wouldn't it? Like, come on, Mr. McAndrew, get it together, buddy. All right. So 1 piece of candy equals this. This is 1 piece of candy. So if I put down 2 of them, that means 2 pieces of candy. If I put down 3 of them, that means 3 pieces of candy. I don't have any more candy with me. I'm gonna eat these real soon, trust me. Okay, so now we have that figured out. So if I put down 10 pieces of candy, that's how many pieces of candy can fit inside a bag. Okay? So, is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, come on, Mr. McAndrew. All right. 9, 10. So that's 10 pieces of candy that we can fit. That's the most we can fit to fill up a bag. And every time we have 10 pieces of candy, we're going to fill up a bag. Now, I don't have so many of these, kind of transparent, but we're going to pretend like this, okay, this 10 is a bag. And it has 10 pieces of candy in it. Makes sense, right? You can see you could fit 10 pieces of candy in there, okay? So we're going to pretend like this is, right? You can see that? You could fit 10 pieces right in there, okay? So 10 pieces of candy go inside the bag. So the bag equals this. A bag with 10 pieces of candy equals one of these base 10 pieces. All right, so to be really clear about this, boys and girls, if I had this and this and this, I would have, how many bags of candy would I have? I have 2 bags. 1, 2. So that would be 10 here and 10 more. That makes 10, 20, and then 1 here. So that equals, that would be 21 pieces of candy. Okay, are you with me? All right. So now that we know this, let's see if we can help Bob with his project. Okay? Let me just do one more example to make sure that you understand what we're doing here. So if I put down 4 of these and 3 of these, actually let's do 5. Okay? And we'll do even more. We'll do 6. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of candy. Okay? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pieces. These are just actual pieces of candy. So over here, how many pieces of candy do I have? Well, let's count together. We have, count with me, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we have 60 pieces here, plus 5 more here. That gives me 65 pieces of candy. Okay? All right, so this is the background you need for the project. In the next video, we're going to actually do the project together. All right, but here's the deal, boys and girls. I can't do it all by myself. I need your help. If you don't help, then you're not doing your math. We don't want that. I mean, never. Okay? So I'll see you in the next video, and we'll get started. You need your math packet, and I'll tell you exactly what you need. It'll say Monday at the top. Okay? All right, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.